Hello everyone. Sorry I'm all up on the camera like that. Let me just put it down here. Can you guys see me? Let's see.
Get ClickUp's unlimited plan 15% off for life this month only. Assign more enhanced tasks with Gantt charts, collaborate with your entire team, and access unlimited stores, integrations, and features.
I thought it would have been better like this, but whatever.
And lock in your discounted unlimited
Okay.
plan for life.
It seemed like the camera's like right on my face. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Chawanne Burns. Sorry. Please click that like button and that subscribe button. Today we're going to talk about the economic injury disaster loan, and there's some new revelations that's out there here. I was doing an application for one of my clients, and I noticed that they changed the application. And it's so crazy. I don't know why they did this, but you tell me your thoughts. I mean, to me, it's happening all over again, as far as picking and choosing of who you want to take advantage of the loan, okay? So sorry, the camera's kind of crooked. I went online and completed an application for one of my clients, and I noticed that on the third page, it asks, were you arrested in the past year for protesting? They didn't use the word protesting. They said rioting or looting, you know. So that, to me, that is just the craziest stuff. Why would you ask that? I mean, I could see if you like deface property, but for protesting, I mean, and anyone could be arrested from protesting. And it really, I guess it's really concerning to me that they're asking that question on the application now. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think this is a legitimate question to ask if a person was arrested for protesting? I mean, we just had John Lewis. He passed away, and he was a civil rights activist. You know, he could have been arrested for trumped up charges, right? So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Hey Bobby, how are you? Hi Michael, what's going on? So yeah, I tried something different today. I got the screen over here, so if you see me looking back and forth, that I'm just trying to look at your questions, so I won't have to read off my my tripod. Okay, so let's get started. There were other things that were in the news, and I want to go over that. SBA they've been really under fire because the guy that's over the administration part, what is his name? Gotta pull him up. He's saying that, well, he put out a red flag saying that there's high fraud. Loans been given out in the EIDL program in the grants. And the Inspector General, the Inspector General, he's saying that they reviewed and identified over $250 million worth of loans or aid potentially been given out to ineligible participants. And 45 million of that monies was duplicate payments. Isn't that crazy? General Hannibal Ware. So I mean that is ridiculous, and we have people like you and I, or you and me, trying to get our application processed. It's crazy how they're dishing out loans to ineligible applicants. And we already know that the PPP, a lot of those big businesses took advantage of those loans. And also, we know that the grants, the SBA issued out grants to people that really didn't have any business. So now we're seeing that loans are given out, to people that did not have a legitimate business. Okay. So he issued out a warning to the SBA saying, hey, this is a issue. It's like a widespread fraud, that they're not really doing the system and checks and balances to people that actually supposed to receive, or legitimate businesses that supposed to receive these loans. Okay. So to me, I think the SBA needs an overhaul, because their systems of checks and balances are not put in place to recognize, number one, fraudulent claims, to process loans in an adequate time frame. And also, they're just willy-nilly. It's no set rules. So let's get to some of your questions. If you guys have questions, please shout them out. Carmelo Ortiz, thank you for joining. Hello, good evening. Have a great and awesome and super cool day today. Okay, and yes, God bless to you. Thank you. Tamara Parker, let me just reconfigure, because it seemed like I'm just looking everywhere. Tamala Parker, my loan is processing since July 9th. I called and talked to customer service, and they said it's still waiting for a person to review, but they did not see 1,000 qualify for the grant, but they still haven't deposited. Oh, so they did see your qualification for the grant, but they still haven't deposited. I'm not for sure. Like I said, there is no set process of what they're doing at the SBA. They're just like willy-nilly it. Oh, I feel like this today, so we're going to process the loans today like this. So it is. I really just keep on trying, Tamara. Keep on trying and keep on calling to see when are they going to disperse your funds. And Tamara, were you wanting the loan? Did you receive the loan portal? I would like to know that. Drop that in the comment section. Robinson Wealth Builder, yes, starting with them. Okay. Bobby Jones, there's a bill circulating in Congress to try and fully fund the whole 10,000 grant. Do you think it will happen in the future? I don't know. I am optimistic, but on this one I have to be pessimistic, because right now we have the administration, they want to get the economy back to what it was without fixing anything. I know I repeat myself a lot. Without fixing anything, like voila, everybody got their jobs back and everybody is working at full potential. All the businesses is bringing in profit more than what they were last year. And it's not happening like that. So I think they will not fund that, only because if they fund it, that means the economy is not doing well, you know, and they're trying to pull a cover over everyone's eyes, saying, no, you don't need that money, which was rightfully so ours in the first place, because they wrote it in the bill, and it was unlawful for them to take that 10 grand away. But they saw, there were a couple of states that sued the SBA and lost. You know, the judge favored in the SBA because the way that the law was written. They passed that bill so fast because they felt the pressure that people really needed the money. So a lot of the legislators in the, you know, Congress and senators, they didn't really read the bill. So and I think that's the reason why they're taking a little bit more time to generate another bill, so they won't have that same mishap. So no, I don't think they're going to give us that 10 grand. I think we just got to chalk it up as a loss. And if we do, it will be a very, very big surprise. Now, if states start shutting down again, I think they will. But people are saying, no, we could operate in the same manner with the mask, you know. So they're saying, oh, we could still operate. We just have to social distance and wear a mask. So you really don't need money. You can still sell stuff, you know. Supreme Polymath. Any SBA programs for new startups? Yeah, you can get an SBA loan with a new startup. When I first started my business, I was in the running to get an SBA loan, and I ended up just using my retirement fund for it. But yeah, you could get an SBA loan. You have to have a pretty decent credit score. I think it's like a 700 something credit score for SBA loan, and you need income. They won't just loan a startup without you having a job or some type of income. So you could get it, but there's a but to that. Okay. Regina Thompson, I have a business and have been processing since July the 15th, but I know people who got grant money in 3 days who have no legitimate business, and it's insane. Yeah, Regina, you're absolutely right. I know my sister, some of her people that she know from Chicago asked her, oh, I could get you this 10 grand. And she was like, well, I don't need that 10 grand because I got a legitimate business. But so yes, people were approaching her about using her name so she could fund or get that funding. And you know, these people are applying for the 10 grand, even though this grant doesn't exist. But what they were doing was applying for the 10 grand, and they would like, okay, we take 5 and you get 5. But really, if you're really smart about it, you're on the hook for it. All of it's in your name. You know, your social security number, your name. So if you're doing fraudulent activity, it's not going to go back to the person that put that information in for you. It's going to go back to you because you are on the hook for that. So I really warn people. And if you are one of those people and you receive that 10 grand and now you want to say, oh, I made a mistake, you better return that 10 grand. So because the federal government, they don't play. If they find out that you took their money, they're going to pursue you. Anyway, enough crime talk. Wuda Willis. I was approved for 20K. Can I send it to Chime? Chime, I don't know if it has a legitimate routing number or bank account. I'm not for sure. I don't know who uses Chime. Can anybody answer Wuda Willis' question? If you can, just shoot it in the comment section. So you guys, I do have super chat on here. So if you want to donate to my cause, you can. Um, I didn't realize that was on there. Anyway, so yeah, you can super chat me. That's just a donation of whatever amount you want to give. Anyway, Star Guyan. Hi, hello, how are you? I'm doing fine. How are you? Tamara Parker, she answered back. She did receive a loan offer and it took it offer, but now is waiting for the person to review it. Also, they did see I qualified for $1,000, but I have not received the money. It's interesting. You know, the people are that's processing later. Like I have another business, my online business. I didn't apply to receive the SBA loan till later. It had to be maybe the end of June, but I still qualified for the grant. And they just approved my application. It hasn't deposited in my account yet, but I haven't received the grant. I don't know what's going on with that. And I know I qualified for the grant because I applied before that July, I think it was July the 11th date. So I've been hearing that a lot lately. You received the grant or you received the loan and didn't receive the grant. And what they should have been doing was if you received the grant and your loan amount should have been deducted from the grant amount should have been deducted for the loan amount. So if you guys are experiencing that, let me put that in the comment section. Hey, I'm here to answer SBA questions. So if you have any SBA questions, put them in the comment section. I just lost my spots. Regina Thompson, I just called today. They said I'm still processing. They don't never know nothing. You know, I don't know what they're talking about. Lisa Williams, thank you all for your help. Thank you, Lisa, for watching. Oh, Nicholas Sean, whoever is Wuda Realist, Nicholas Sean is saying, I know someone that received a 100K loan on Chime. So maybe so. I was saying that you need a checking account, but I've been hearing some people just been using their regular checking account to receive the loans. So I know they were initially at the beginning, they were rejecting people loan, or the bank was rejecting because your loan didn't match up with your business name. So I think they changed that. Regina Thompson said, beware because a lot of people have been having issues with Chime. Oh, yeah. Yes, I'm not familiar with Chime, so I really can't tell you intelligent answer. So you guys, I'm trying to stop saying a lot because when I put this video on YouTube, you know, after the live is over, I will get complaints like, you don't know how to talk. Because I'm saying, but you know, I'll get it. I just have to keep on trying. Anyway, so now I'm not gonna say I'm just gonna say anyway, or so. You guys, I put on my post that I'm having my midnight or my late night cocktail. So toast, cheers to all of you. There were let me see if I could pull it up. I've seen a lot of questions about timing of the loan, timing of the loan, timing of the grant, that whole process. I want you guys, and I've seen questions about not only the timing or the process when you receive the loan portal. I've been seeing questions about adjusting the loan amount. So before you approve the loan, there is a hyperlink just under the loan amount that you could see view and verify loan. And it's right under the amount that you approved for, and there's a hyperlink. You want to click on that hyperlink, you guys, to adjust the amount. And usually it's from 1,000 to whatever max amount that you're approved for. And it's a sliding button that you could adjust the amount. That's I've been seeing that in a lot in my comment section. So that's how you could adjust your loan amount. So if you don't want to take the max amount and you want to take a lower amount, you got to make sure you do that before you do anything else, okay? You can't just go in there and say, oh, I want to approve that amount, because it will not let you go back and adjust the amount. You will have to call the SBA if you want to change the amount, okay? So that is something that's very, very important that I want you guys to realize. You can adjust the amount, and as you adjust the amount, you are able to see your monthly payments for the loan. Did you guys also know that your loan, the first initial payment is you have a 12-month forbearance period, and it's interest free. So interest won't accumulate for 12 months, and your first note is due on that 13th month. So that's something important that you guys need to know. Let's see what kind of questions we have. Lisa Williams, I had a Vantage score of 569 and was denied the loan. Never received the grant, applied on 6/19. Lisa Williams, you do qualify for the grant, okay? You were denied. Did you receive the denial letter? I'm assuming you received the denial letter. And I am assuming that after your denial letter that they never sent you that grant amount. So I would stress to you to call the SBA office and ask for that grant, because that $20 billion that they said, oh, we no longer have, since you applied on June the 19th, you were already allocated those dollars. They already calculated, hey, we have so many applicants with so many employees. This is what they should have. So your money is just sitting there. You just need to get it, okay? So I would stress to you, call the SBA office and ask, hey, I know I was denied for the loan, but where's my grant? Because you're entitled to it. As long as you have a legitimate business, okay? Or self-employed. Metrics SJ. A lot of my friends here in California are receiving their deposit in their personal account. So yeah, so you just confirmed, Metric, because like I said, I know a few people that receive monies in their personal account. I haven't received any money in my personal account. But prior to all this crazy stuff, a lot of people were being rejected because their bank account did not match their business account. So thank you for that comment, Metric SJ. Regina Thompson, I saw the link, but would anyone ever want less? You never know. I guess it all depends on your situation, you know. Maybe you don't need as much as SBA is giving you. And some people don't like that. So yeah, I could see somebody decreasing their loan amount. Nicole Mason, I have a promissory note from, I believe you're saying them. Does this mean I get the loan? I applied June 30th and haven't heard anything. Nicole Mason, if you signed your loan agreement, you should have received your monies. A promissory note is something you sign, correct? So if you have a promissory note, you should have your money. That means they agreed to lend you the money and it should be in your bank account. I will go back to your loan portal and to see on the top it has this loading bar. Everything should be red, and on the green bar it would tell you the type of status. It's like a green box. Money's funding, money's whatever the case may be. So go back to your loan portal and see what's going on with that. Because if you sign your promissory note, you've already been approved and they should release your funding to you. You're at the last stage. Lisa Williams, yes, I received a denial letter, no mention of the grant. Sent the email response that there is no money left. Lisa, did you apply before July the 11th? I didn't do one this week, but normally what I do, and I'll probably make the video up sometime, maybe tomorrow. I've been busy with my business. We starting to pick up, so I wasn't able to make that video. But normally what I do is give you guys what they have left in funding. And last week I put a video out of what the EIDL had in funding, and also the advance, because they publish on their website. You guys, if you want to know all about the SBA, it's Freedom of Information Act. They got a link. Go to sba.gov, scroll all the way down. There's a link, Freedom of Information Act, and you can find everything that I'm talking about on that hyperlink. But they normally publish what they've released or what they dispersed to the public. And it was quite odd to me that last, when they made a post saying, hey, we're all out of funding, and then the next release date for what they posted was exactly $20 billion. Isn't that kind of, oh, we're just going to say $20 billion even, not 19 billion and 300,000 or $300 million. It was $20 billion even. So I thought that was quite odd, that they were saying that they spent all their money to the penny. To me, it just didn't make any sense. Anyway, Jonathan Dume, it is absolutely too late. I'm a Lisa Williams, I am a sole proprietor, resale, and business license. I'm kind of trying to figure out what is your business. So you resell business licenses? So you sell businesses. Is that what you're saying? Robinson Wealth Builder. The SBA said they do not have any more money for the grant when I applied June the 20th. So Robinson Wealth Builder, you also called and they said they were out of funding? That to me, that's a bunch of crap. Danella Lopez 01, still no answer. Nicole Mason, yes, I did the note, but will no funds. Oh, so you still had no funds dispersed to you. Go back in there and look to see that second box down that says verify your banking account information. Make sure it is green and it is verified, because that might be a problem. Okay, you should have your money by now. When did you sign your promissory? I think you already put that in there, in June, right? or beginning of July. Yeah, June. Did you say Lisa? Yeah, June the 30th. Yeah, I don't know. You should have had your money by now. Barbara Simmons. I applied when it being my loan was only $4,700 and I did accept it. Now you need more help. The grant was, so you didn't accept the loan, now you need it. I think you can go back. Just go back, call the SBA, ask them, can they reopen your application? And see, or just reapply. If you approved the first time, you should approve the next time. One of my clients, I applied for them yesterday and they got approval today. They got the loan portal today. So they're running really, really fast. So literally, I applied. It had to be at 8 o'clock last night. And they woke up this morning and called me saying, oh, Chawanne, I got the loan portal. So. Carla Jenkins, same here, Chawanne. All of these idle false starts, but all of a sudden SBA gets it down to the penny. You're right. It's like, come on now. I know we're not dealing with rocket scientists over there. So you got it down to the very millipenny. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, Lisa Williams, you're an interior decorator. Oh, that sounds like a fun career or business. Or maybe it's a nightmare. I'm in window treatments, so I get some crazy clients. Anyway, Regina Thompson, they wouldn't tell me they were out of funding. She will only say that they were still processing my application. That's probably Regina. That's probably because she don't know. She's not. They don't know. They don't know what to tell you. You know, so I can't say if she's just falsifying information or she just literally don't know because they can't check your status. The lady that processed my application, you guys know that I was approved. If you've been following me, I dropped that video on last Friday or something like that. She stayed on the phone and walked through my application with me while I was on the loan portal and all that good stuff. One thing she did note that the people that they hired in the SBA office to answer the phones, they have no experience with the SBA. She said since they don't have any experience, they just did a mass hire trying to fill the bodies to answer the phone. So sometimes the simplest stuff, she was saying that she would actually have to call them and walk them through the computer system to get them to push your application forward or whatever the case may be. Stuff that they should know, they don't know. So some of the people, minus the tier 2 workers or the tier 2 representatives, some of them, they never worked at the SBA before. So that's one of the things their SBA hired I think they hired like 3,000 people, and majority of them did not have experience with the SBA office. So that's one of the things that we have to deal with. So you got to really think about, okay, so SBA, they had an influx of application. I think as of today, they probably got like 10 million applicants so far. I don't know how many they've processed, but as of today, I think it's about 10 million applicants. Then we do have the coronavirus, you know, so do we have a pool of people that are qualified to man the phones? And if they are qualified, can they work from home? You know, So, and if you go on the SBA website, you know, if you guys are looking for a side hustle, they do have jobs out in, I believe it's in Texas. I'm assuming that's where one of their call centers are at. And then, so they're still hiring for positions at the SBA. So you really got to take that in consideration. They probably didn't have enough bodies, you know, legitimate bodies or adequate bodies to fill these positions. So they just hired anybody, you know. Okay, so I lost my spot. I believe. Okay, so Nicole Mason, you applied or you got the portal June the 30th or signed your promissory note June the 30th. That's crazy. Yeah, you should have been had your money. Dr. Pharma, they put 20,000 in my friend's bank account and took it back 3 hours later. They said the account names did not match up. Okay, that's interesting. How can they take it back though? Well, I guess on that promissory note, you probably are agreeing to, you know, ACH draws for their money. So if you guys don't want to use that to make your payments out of that same business account or his personal account, you might want to read those promissory notes. Anyway, queso with the cheese. Hi, I'm in Chicago. Can I ask you some questions? Yeah, queso. I applied for the loan and didn't know that my credit was 536. Will this drastically affect my chances to receiving the loan? Yes. Your credit score, you need to go to nav.com and pull your credit score. At least needs to be a 570. However, you know, some people don't agree with that. You know, it's like we're in a disaster. Why are they looking at our credit? But you know, it's a loan. So, but 570 is the number that you need to try to get to. You can't put in the reconsideration and explain your credit circumstances. So if your credit has been impacted by the disaster, meaning late payments and all that good stuff, they're not supposed to hold that against you. Okay? So you still have a chance. It will impact you, of course, but you will have some explaining to do. Okay? So I'm sending all my good to you. Queso with the cheese. I love that name. Queso with the cheese. John, my friend mom has her as an employee, but she drives Uber herself and filed taxes and used that info. But they withdrew her app because she was on her mom's. Was this wrong? I'm confused. Why? And now, only way you could put a person on your app if this is a business now, if you're saying I'm a part owner. But you can be an Uber driver, self-employed, 1099, and own a business. You know, that's a side hustle. So you can apply 2 times. So I'm curious to know what you're talking about. I hope you're not talking about the stimulus check because that's the only way you could be if, you know, I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. But the SBA, you can have a joint applicant saying, hey, you own 50% of my business. So they'll pull both of your credits. But it shouldn't because my mom has a different business and she owns part of my business. That doesn't matter. They shouldn't withdraw her application. So I will be disputing that if that's the case. So yeah, John, it was wrong. So if you're talking about what I'm talking about, or if you're thinking what I just spoke, yes, wrong, I would dispute it with the SBA. Carla Jenkins, she said, yeah, they hired new people to handle the CARES Act funding. And I was lucky when I called, I received an actual SBA loan specialist. Yeah, you were lucky. That's like a needle in a haystack. The Callaway. How likely is it that the SBA bill will pass? The Callaway, I was just speaking on that. To me, I think it's very slim. I think it's highly unlikely. There are some YouTubers they're saying, hey, call your congressmen and your senators and say you approve. I think it's Bill 4722. You support that bill so they could fight for you. But you got to remember, Congress is basically predominantly Democrats and they want it, but it has to pass through the Senate. Senate is majority of Republicans, and unless they're gonna take away something, do some compromisation like they did the last bill, I think it's very slim because the Republicans, they want to decrease the funding, and then we have the administration, they do not want to release funding, because if we're releasing funding, that means we're still in the pandemic. It's still bad out here. It's bad out here in these streets. I don't know if y'all ever heard that. It's bad out here in these streets. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna pass unless it's a give take. We gotta give, or the Democrats have to give something big to the Republicans for them to get that. I don't know what's on the table that big for them to give us 180. I think it's $180 billion that they're talking about re-upping on that program. So I think it's highly unlikely, but I'm willing to stay optimistic about it. Let me know your thoughts. Just remember, you guys, I do have super chat out there. You can always donate to the cause. I really appreciate you. So the people that I'm helping with their reconsideration process, I'm not really charging them. It's donation only. So because I don't know, I can't guarantee anything, with the SBA. But I am helping people out. If you need help with your SBA process, you want to shoot me some questions, please find me on Instagram. It is Chawanne_Burns, and inbox me your questions. I do answer all my questions, so you can always inbox me. Oh, John, you saying she works for her mom too? But still, if it's a legitimate business, I don't understand. I don't understand. Maybe because of the grant. I'm still confused of why they would. A person is, you could get multiple. You could have multiple business. You could be an independent contractor and still own a business and still take. So I'm not for sure why they would do that. How long does it take to get the money if I was approved and funded? We had a young lady on here just a few moments ago. This is for B-Dub. B-Dub, we had a young lady on here just a few moments ago saying she signed her promissory note back in, I think, June the 30th, and she haven't received funding yet. I received funding like overnight. So I guess it all depends on who's working on your account, Chime, there's been some comments out here. I'm not familiar with Chime, but some people are saying you gotta be careful with Chime because, you know, it's probably not that reliable. I'm not for sure, you know. EIDL is what she applied for. I told her to dispute it too. Yeah, she needs to dispute it because that's ridiculous. Carla Jenkins, I think the EIDL Act will be modeled after the PPP Flexibility Act. I see that the meaning of the PPP money will be shifted to the EIDL. Yeah, that's a good point, Carla. Yeah, I've been reading that, and that's in this new bill that they're trying to shift it and make it more flexible with the spending. So that's a good point. The Callaway, I feel like the chances of the bill passing should be highly likely, especially if we keep pushing the issue. Hopefully, we will get an update in the coming weeks. Yeah, the Callaway, I think if we keep on pushing and, you know, writing our senators and congressmen and letting them know that you support that bill, I think it will be passed. But like I said, if the Democrats will have to give something up or give something to get that passed, they're not just going to give that. It's not, they're not going to roll over like that. Jean Voltaire. On my Schedule C, net profit or loss was $25,000. In a negative, you put parentheses about around a dollar amount. So that, does that mean you're in a negative? Can I get can I apply for the PPP and get qualified? I'm wondering why it's in a negative. You know, why do you have a negative for your business or your 1099? What are you doing where it's negative? Can you let me know, Gene? Because I'm kind of confused. Loans and stuff is not on the Schedule C, so you shouldn't be including that. Only thing you should be including is cost of goods sold. It's your first year of business. Do you have any Jean Voltaire, do you have any equipment that you purchase? Because you might want to do, there's a column where you could do like a straight line depreciation for that. And you could look up, it's a simple formula for straight line depreciation. Okay. Yeah, I'm not for sure. I don't know. I can't answer your question intelligently about the PPP because really they want something on paper, you know. Just the schedule for the Schedule C, they're not really, I mean, I think because it's not your actual tax form, you know. You're doing a Schedule C because they're requesting it. You're not giving it to the IRS. So I'm not for sure. What does your bank account say? They're supposed to be going off what's deposited in your account. And I'm assuming if you're a sole proprietor, so you're a small dealership, but are you a sole proprietor? So you're not a corporation. So I'm assuming like you're a LLC sole proprietor or something like that. LLC. So that's why you do a Schedule C. Okay. Yeah. That, like I said, they really supposed to be going off your bank account. Just try. I mean, what, and keep on trying. Keep on trying till they say yes. I mean, especially if you need the money. Sneaky dissing exposed. They're asking me for my business license. Who is asking you for your business license? Not for sure. Stevanese World. I like that name, Stevanese. I believe I'm saying that right. That's pretty. I was approved today. I am asking if you are self-employed, can you pay yourself with the loan? Yes, you absolutely can, girl. You better pay yourself. Yeah, that's is for your payroll, overhead expenses. Overhead expenses is payroll. Yeah, so yeah, you don't have to pay. Stevenise is saying on the SBA website when I was signing up to state, it stated we don't have to pay back. But I watched so many YouTube videos saying you do have to pay back. You do. There was a portion of what you didn't have to pay back, and that is grant monies from the SBA. That's no longer available. So if you didn't receive a grant, and they would say you wouldn't have to sign anything. There was no promissory note. It was just magically appeared in your bank account. So that was a grant. And no, you don't have to pay that back. But people that applied after July the 11th, they're only entitled to the loan because the grant money was exhausted. So you do have to pay. And if you sign a promissory note, you have to pay. It's a loan. You have to pay it back. Miss Exclusive, yes to paying yourself. You're absolutely right. Hey, Miss Exclusive. Roberta. Hey, got you playing in the background. Thank you, love. Thank you for the support. Roberta, my loan was declined after stating it was processing for 2 weeks. However, I was giving the grant. Yeah, Miss Roberta, if you want to reconsider, just put it in for reconsideration if you really need the loan. That's what I would do. Nessa, I took less than what I should on the EIDL loan, but now I want to get the remaining. Can I do an increase? You should. I would call the SBA office back and see. They got plenty of money, you guys. They have plenty of money left over. So yes, Nessa, apply. Just call them and say, loan applicant number, blah, blah, blah. I need to take advantage of that full amount. Roberta, should I reapply? Yes, reconsider. Put in for reconsideration. Okay, so Stevenese World, if I sign up on the date that stated that information, I'm entitled not paying it back. No, I think you're getting confused. Let me plug in my battery. You have to okay, I'm sorry, you guys. I had to plug up my battery. You have to pay, like I said, if you signed a promissory notes are usually attached to loans. So if it wasn't a loan, you wouldn't have got a promissory loan. No. Grants, they don't issue portals out for the grant. They only issue portals out for the loan. Okay? So yeah, if you receive the loan portal and signed a promissory note, you received the loan. You do have to pay that back. There's a deferment to the loan. I was telling everyone earlier, the deferment is 12 months. So your first initial payment will be on the 13th month. Okay? So if you sign up in June or receive your loan in June or whatever, your first initial payment won't be until July of 2021. John Gervais. Yesterday I was declined the loan right after I sent my Schedule C and picture ID. Now what? John, did you apply through Blue Vine? And are you speaking of the PPP? Let me know in the comment section. I noticed on some of these, the PPP loans, that they're denying self-employed people. And I don't know why. I think it's a bunch of crap, especially if you have bank statements saying you receive cash payments or whatever the case may be from whoever. They shouldn't be denying anybody for the PPP. Anyway, you guys, any more questions? Let me know your questions because I have about 5 minutes, I think. Callaway, persistence is the key. Keep on trying until they say yes. I had one of my friends, I used to tease him. Well, we used to tease him. He would always say, if you want to ask a girl out and she said no, you ask her 50 times, she says no, and the 51st time she might say yes. So you keep on asking her. That's a little bit like stalking to me, but whatever. Stephen East, next question. I trade stocks so I can use this purchase some stocks has. I did. So Stephen East, I did a video about what's legitimate use for SBA funds, and that is not a legitimate use for SBA funds. You can't be a trader. Matter of fact, I wonder what you put on your app. Did you say you? Yeah, so if you were approved for the loan, you must have put something else in besides trader, because that's one of the professions that they won't lend to a stock trader. Stock trading, real estate investment, those are one of the professions. If you're a stripper, hey, if a majority of your monies come from gambling, they don't belong to those type of industries or whatever. So yeah, you're legally you're not supposed to use that money for that. When is the timeline to turn in your information for the PPP loan? Are you talking about the forgiveness? I think it's 8 weeks, but if you applied after that 8-week period, because they changed it, they called it the PPP Flexibility Act. I thought it was 24 weeks. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought it was, you have 24-week time period to use that money that they disperse. So if you're talking about forgiveness, literally your bank is probably calling you and saying, or sending you emails, hey, we need, you're about to come close to that deadline, we need that application for forgiveness. So hopefully I answered your question. I'm not for sure if you were talking about that. And now if you're talking about the actual loan, to sign up for the loan. You have up until August the 8th to sign up for that loan. John Gervais. I have a maid service business and I deliver DoorDash. Got a loan for DoorDash but was denied for my maid service. That's so ridiculous. I wonder why you was denied for the maid service. What did they say? That, to me, that's retarded. That's what I said. There's no rhyme to reason with the SBA. You know, it's like, you approved me for DoorDash, but you wouldn't approve me for you probably make more money on the maid service anyway. But anyway, I don't know. Tell me, John, what was your reason for them denying you? John, what is the name of the credit score again? I walked away from the phone. Oh, John is nav.com. Experian Vantage Score. John Gervais, by the way, I love your brows. Thank you. I love your brows too. Stephenese World, have a hair salon business as well. Okay, yeah, apply for your hair business or hair salon. So you're saying, Stephenese, I'm assuming you applied for the PPP, so you had your business license and had to produce your identification card. Yeah, that's one of the requirements. Valerie's plan, your makeup and hair is on point. I don't know about this hair, but thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. So I believe I've been online for about a whole hour. Hopefully I answered your questions. If you guys have more questions in regards to the SBA EIDL program or the PPP program, please put them in the comment section. You could always do that. Watch some of my videos. I have playlists, just the EIDL loan playlist about reconsideration, their credit requirements, standard operating procedures, all kinds of stuff, okay? I walked through how I got approved after being denied. So please watch those videos. I am going to link that in the description section for the playlist. Also, if you need legitimate help, legitimate businesses, find me on Instagram, Chawanne Burns Chawanne Burns, and shoot me your questions. I answer all my questions, okay? Anybody that inbox me and they have a legitimate question, I will answer them. Yeah, and no question is a stupid question, I guess you want to call it. Just find me on Instagram and I'll answer your questions if you need help with the reconsideration process. So I am sending all my good to you. You guys, thank you for tuning in. I am close to 3,800 subscribers, so hopefully I made it over that. But I will talk to you soon.